heavy. He's my brother.
We were walking down the concourse and down into the baggage area to get my duffel, and I was holding my son for the first time actually, and this guy, this Hare Krishna, came up and was talking to me, but he put his hand on my son's head, and he said something to the effect, how would you feel if it was your son? If you were killing your son as a baby killer.
To walk through the San Francisco airport and hear people call you names and literally try to spit on your uniform was really disheartening.
Everywhere I went uniform, there was all this whispering in Denver. There was all these looks. You may not have heard the comment, but you knew they were talking about you. Not to you, but about you.
To come home after being through what those guys went through and not be given the respect that I was given just for wearing the uniform is almost unimaginable.
The World War II vets, of course, they came back, you know, with parade and fanfare and a real winner. We came back with none of that.
The MPT initiative about saluting Vietnam veterans is just absolutely incredible. It's a huge undertaking. The Vietnam veterans will look at the event as a way to finally tell them thank you for their service.
The remembrance will be important. I think it'll create some healing, it really does.
Vietnam is a Maryland story, and creating a record for what these men did and how they served and what they gave back to our society is needed and long overdue.
It will leave not just our veterans and their families, but also a wider population who might not have the same level of connection with these issues, leave them with a better sense and understanding of what happened and where we are now.
Maryland Public Television is perfectly suited to tell this story, which is, again, a Maryland story.
This initiative becomes incredibly important because our Vietnam veterans deserve the thank you that for many of them they never received.
Bam! Somebody ran into the back of my tank.
Mortar rounds landed. It blew my left leg completely off.
There was reports of an ambush up ahead. We did have support from the Marines on each side, but those are really anxious moments.
I lived in a village. Except for the language barrier, I think the relationships was pretty good. We were safe there, and they were too. I went back by there on a patrol maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. The VC had cut off the heads of the village elders and stuck them on posts on the corners of the village.
I turned around, and there was Sergeant Nicholson's tank hitting the back of my tank. He squished the 3 guys that were climbing up the back of my tank to get at me. He saved my life.
My right leg was severely just meat and hanging together. My right hand was severed almost completely off. I was paralyzed from the neck down.
Triage means assessing all the patients and prioritizing. You'd also triage for the expectant patient. I would patch him up, if he was still alive, and I'd put a screen up and I would sit with him till he died. These kids were 18, 19. 18, 19.
You gotta remember, I was 18 years old. I was gonna get married, I was gonna have a home and a job and everything, and it was gone.